Well, I'm pretty proud of myself. I had to go heavy on here because I took a U pipe and I cut this like this, and then I put a 90 degree there because it had to do this S, and then I had the long piece of straight pipe which I put on the front of the muffler in here. This is a mini 45 that I slightly tucked inside the open diameter here and butted it up against here. And I put high power and just keep connecting the dots. And when you look on the inside, it looks all welded, perfectly inside, and there's no slag on the inside. These stainless steel pipes weld so much better because they're not true stainless steel. They have some metal in them. I believe you put a magnet on them. I believe they magnetize, and it's kind of like how they're making refrigerators now. You can put a magnet on the refrigerator because a real stainless steel one would just fall off. So it's less money to make these, and they're more durable, and they're stronger. There might be some other ones that I had welded in on the front part that were a little thinner walled, and that might actually be that thing. But ultimately, it rides across here, and it's got to do an S. I got to use this guy because if I went straight out, it would look funny right here. So I put it right where the original one was, and I'll show you the mid pipe that I did. And I'm going to probably put the muffler in with band clamps because I'm a huge proponent of not welding in the muffler. Although I know it's like stronger, the band clamp does a pretty good job, But ultimately, I don't have the light on, do I? No, I don't. Hang on, let me put the light on. All right. So basically, we got this, and I started welding little pieces to make my life easier. But then I got tack welds here. I just gotta put this together. But this is a Y, and although there's some kind of angle here, the welding will make up for it for the most part. I'm going to put a band clamp right there. I'm going to weld that bigger piece to the muffler. I had to expand the muffler to get this piece on. Amazon said that this was 2.5 inner diameter to 2.25 inner diameter, I believe. It ended up being it was outer diameter, and this was the same size, so they're both inner diameter. The stainless steel pipe fit right into that one. And most of it's stainless steel. I do have a regular mild steel over here. This is the 2-inch. So there's two inches, and this ended up being stainless, but this I put regular mild steel. I just think it's again, this first part is mild steel. Mild steel, I think, would be stronger coming off the flanges here. That's just my feeling, But it came out pretty damn good, And I don't expect it to be super high up in here, I suppose, depending how I feel, I might be able to change it, but being that I just put the tailpipe the way it was, and I probably should have done this part here first, to be honest. I really didn't even think about it, but I just figure even though it's lower than I'd like, I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. I just hope that if I decide, I just don't think if I go higher, it's going to work now for the tailpipe. So I played with it a lot, and I'm like, it's got to kind of go. It's got to kind of go right around here. So the tire is up off the ground, so that'll, like I have the body, the chassis up, and the suspension is still hanging. So, I'm a little concerned about that, but I don't think that should matter, actually. The muffler still is where the muffler is. It's just that the body is going to come down. Yeah, I mean, there might be a little more clearance, less clearance between the over-the-hump pipe and there, but there was plenty of clearance, so that thing is still cooling off, so I'll probably just poke it in there. Not sure if I'll go bother welding all this tonight. It's getting late. I'm tired. I worked 2 overnights in a row. I don't even know how I'm up during the day today after 12. Got home at 6:30 this morning from work. Drove all the way from Jersey Shore, 135 miles, and I didn't nod out at the wheel. I mean, it looks pretty killer. 2 into 1. So hopefully everything I did is kind of okay. Now it is a little close to the pipe there, the heater pipe, and I'm just gonna probably put some kind of mesh over that. You know, like I could put exhaust, put the wrap around it on the thing. But I was thinking about just putting a piece of tin, and make it something with that, a piece of stainless or something like along those lines that'll just protect it. And I was thinking I'd just put a flat piece, but curve it slightly, and then have it meet up with the metal hose, the aluminum hose, and then put a clamp around that. It should hold it in place and protect the rubber hose. So I just decided, I said, that's not going to be too big of a deal. And then I got to put in the stupid emergency brake cable. I got to put the old master cylinder back in to make that work. So I must say, this is coming out pretty killer. I really like it. And this came out awesome, But I might have been a little bit too gung-ho. I just said, once I put the tacks in, I'm like, man, and it came right out as well. So I was happy about that. Let me just, I don't know if you can see. Oh, I'll pick up the camera in a minute. Ultimately, I was kind of letting the pipe cool off. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this, and the way the back of the muffler is, it's really not in a bad place at all. So... yeah, I didn't know that far, and that way, hang on. I have the camera resting on the jack stand, but I need the jack stand. Come on. It's not really up all the way. So it's there. That guy gets turned. This end piece here can be rotated, and you see I have it in between here because this thing goes up. I'm going to put a hanger on that original place here, and it should be fine to bolt up. I'm not a fan of welding those either, so at least it can come off two different ways. And that looks pretty straight, and then I can tighten that guy down. Ooh, it's sticking out a little bit. But I matched it up with the other one. It didn't seem too terrible. But definitely won't get any fumes. I don't know. It doesn't look terrible, but I suppose somebody could hit it. Goes past the bumper. So I didn't have a 2 1/4 pipe cutter. And man, it was such a fucking pain in the ass to cut these with a sawzall. But that's basically what I did. I have the 2-inch ones I can cut. And I fucked up my blade. They don't sell a blade locally, so you gotta I bought another freaking thing, and I ruined the first blade. I tried to cut a piece of stainless steel pipe with it. So, but ultimately, it all disappears. I think the muffler might be seen. Yeah, but that's pretty much where the muffler was. I went through this a million times in my head, so I hope it's okay. I really don't think it's going to be too bad. And there is some angles here. Oop. There's some angles here. But if you weld it, with the angles in your favor, then it should be okay. If I have to cut it and then kind of put a droot like that might be necessary. But also the reason why I don't have it bolted in the back, but the band clamp pretty much hits it square when you tighten it down. So, not really thinking about that. I'm really wondering if this muffler was up higher, and it might have been, because when I look at the muffler, here's the problem is because I use the 2 1/4 inch stuff, it's definitely harder, but this thing here has 1 7/8 pipe, and this guy here, that's still level. So now the only difference is this has a small pipe, and they put it on the top of the thing here, or they could have put it at the bottom. It's a much smaller pipe going into here, and then this guy kind of goes up high, It, so I'm going straight across. But honestly, it's where the pipe comes out. With the new cross member I made, that's pretty much where it needs to go. And it's not far down in the front. It just seems like it's a little more further down in the rear where the muffler is. But, these are my pipes right here. And I can't go any higher than that. Pipes. No, sir, no way, buddy. It's impossible. So, and then I have the emergency brake cable is another, issue here. But when I get the back end, maybe I could put, a jack on here, jack stand or something, and then when I weld it, it'll kind of be in a certain place. See, now this is, I don't know, the metal goes up to here. If I fucking made the metal longer, which it would have been a harder angle with this, but it's still, I got all 4 fingers here, but I was thinking about just running a piece of metal here and then clamp on either end or something like that, It really shouldn't be, because that side is up higher than this side even. I just don't see it being too much of an issue, but either I should move the clamp down. It's close to the end. That's where the pipe really is, right there. So I'm not really worried, I can figure something out. I can put a piece of sheet metal there, I suppose something could be done here. It can go down and then up again, kind of thing. And I'm not sure how this would go up. I could do the 90-degree or 45 and the 45 to help get it over the hump better. But then the cable is here, and it's funny how it was not anywhere near, but I think that's because the pipe went all the way down and then back up. But like I said, it was able to go up higher and more towards the center. I can't do that because I have this T here, and it's straight on this one. I think it would be a little retarded if I put it over and then I had to make angles on both. And I'd have to angle it pretty far that way to clear the pipe, the heater hoses. So if I clear the heater hoses, it's a straight run into here for the most part, and there's that little bump right there. Right there is where I have the pipe, That's the highest point, but I'm not really there at the highest point. So, yeah, it's not really a big deal, but I could definitely do something, I'm not sure if this thing here is it looks pretty level. It possibly could be, rotated to some degree. I gotta weld this whole thing up tomorrow, and it's really looking good though otherwise, and I'm gonna weld that thing to the muffler and then put the band clamp there. So if I decide I want to do something, I gotta do something here, but honestly I don't know what I'm really gonna accomplish, because now that I made the tailpipe, I'm just hoping that the muffler is at an angle. It does not look like it. It looks pretty level with the body, at least, It's not terribly uncommon to see the muffler, so I really couldn't go up higher. I mean, I guess that's the thing. I could have gone up higher here, but this thing is straight. It's a straight run right into it. I mean, that's the lowest it's going to go. Without really a pipe bender and start, tucking and hiding everything, I just don't think it's, this is really the best I can do on the ground. I mean, I got those connectors, that does the angles, little mandrel pieces, but I just don't think it's necessary. It is what it is. It's a custom job, but it's how it is. I would start it now, but I really can't because the battery's been dying on me. Not quite sure why. And I don't know if this guy looks like it's straight or not. I guess this is a guide, because the bumper's at an angle, it comes out in the middle. It definitely looks like it's coming out straight. I don't think that's terrible, but I can't really push it on any further. My thing is somebody hitting it. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't out that far. And sometimes it depends, because I might be matching up the pipe, but I'm not really getting it. I mean, if you look at this pipe, it's so tiny. There's so much more you can do with this, you know. And then they welded on this thing to catch this thing here. And that's all well and good. It's just, you know, what are you going to do, you know? So, and I don't think I have this much further. I mean, I have it tighter, I think, because where this is, this looks like several inches here. I'm just curious now. I hate to go gun-ho on one side or one thing, and then it's like, oh, maybe I should have done it like this. What do I do with the tape? All right. I'm going to make another quick video because I'm running out of space on my phone. All right, so from the top of the muffler here where that thing hooks, I don't know which hole it was on, to be honest, but it's like either 6 or 7 inches away from the hanger. I sure hope I have that right, or at least similar. There's no way. I'm definitely higher than it was. I'm about the same, I'm going to say. So I'm on the bolt there. Yeah, I'm right about there. And then the bolt here isn't tight, so it can go up a little bit. I just don't think another inch is going to matter. And an inch in the front here I may have, but then it starts getting close. When I weld it, I can cheat it, here. And I don't think it's going to affect where the tailpipe sits. The tailpipe looks like it wants to come down a little bit, but if I have a hanger on that, I just have it teetering on the jack stand here. I just don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. I sure hope so. I mean, the worst case scenario is I got to weld it in, and I hate welding in the car. That's another reason why I don't want to use band clamps, But I suppose I could have gone up fucking higher. But the other thing is, I was having a little bit of an issue with how the pipes fit. Oh Jesus, that's kind of close. Okay, hopefully I just rotated it, and that's why. I got my fingers between this right here, and I hope I'm right, And I know this muffler's on an angle here, and I think they had the muffler kind of straight on, and it was like way over to the side, and I'm like, I couldn't even make that happen. And again, that was because you had the slight bend coming off the front here, but it's not in the way over here. But I just, with the clamp on, but what it is, I can hang the clamp actually straight down. The hanger could be technically straight down and still hit the pipe, and then you turn the muffler clamp. But I don't know if I actually had it in like that. I might have, yeah, because then it's kind of close to the thing here. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, the end there, I got a pipe cutter cutting. I'm going to cut it nicely with the pipe cutter, and then I could put the that chrome thing. That chrome thing is on very, very tight because I was kind of hammering it on. But I have just enough room everywhere here. This is definitely more than I just had a minute ago. I just don't see it being a terrible thing. And I'm probably going to put the band clamp here, and I wanted to cheat this all the way to the back here. And this is not even tight. This guy here. So there's a lot going for this here. What else? I can't really complain. I mean, if you look at it, the pipes are as low as they can go, and this is just following it, I guess the only thing I would have done different is maybe move this thing so the muffler does go up higher. But, I kind of can't do anything about that now unless it is at an angle already. Hard to say if it is, I did actually move this up another inch the last minute when I was doing it all because I realized I could. But I don't think I can go another step here. it's holding in on its own. Oh. Now, I don't know where that puts me, but it's definitely higher now. Yeah, something tells me that the pipe in the back moved. But it kind of looks silly now. It's granted the cars that have come down, drive shaft should come down, but it's not like it gained that much in the front. You know, it might have gained a little, but this is all on the angle of the welds. You know, so like when the band clamps would have to go on first, and then I can tack weld more pieces here. You know, this one I can tack all the way around before I do that, but you know, I'll have to come out to do that. So that's another reason why I kind of don't want to put the band clamps on yet, because I want to weld that piece onto the muffler. It's still a little bit of light left. I suppose I can take it all out. But right now, when I move that hanger up, this here kind of changed. Yeah, it changed, but it's not that bad. Oh, look at it. It came forward. Oh, but that was just... Yeah, this thing probably needs to be cut down a little bit. I guess it's kind of close. But, you know, if I change the angle here, that's why this thing here, where you can rotate it to get it where you want, I can put the hanger where I want. Even if it's not... I had it even with the gas tank, and now it looks like it's a little bit different. So if I held this guy down... Yeah, but, you know, you can't even see it because it's being blocked by mostly the thing there. And I got it... See, I got it the S-turn there, but I also got it going up close to the bumper. I just don't see this all being an issue at all. It's really looking good for whatever it is. And that jack stand doesn't have to be like the exact place it needs to be per se, you know. But this pipe comes all the way close. The pipe is almost long enough to be on its own. The pipe is pretty much right here, but I have it slid on all the way on, so I can cut that down and then put that on and be able to adjust it. And then if it's turned or tweaked, I can just turn this, and it looks like it's straight then. So that extra spot on there, see, and then now it's kind of rotated, I think. I think going up a little bit helped, that one spot, and it's very close to where it was. And then when you look at the chassis here, it's that much closer, you know. But I just feel like the cables here are kind of in the way. I may have to play with that. So I just don't think it's going to be too bad, and I think that clamping and moving all that will be fine. But I'm kind of thinking I should put the what do you call it in I should put the brake cable in, you know, the whole spiel there, so I know what's going on with it then. So I'm quite happy. It looks so much nicer with the stainless steel, even with the regular steel, you know, being welded. Like I said, I just think it makes the weld that much better. And I can paint all this, you know, paint the welds, because it'll look rusty in the end. But again, I'm not terribly worried. And then this guy will be where it needs to be once I cut it down and slide it down. Super happy. And then, like, see, now it's over that way. Yeah, so see, the whole thing, watch. You can see the T even moving, and the front pipes are actually moving too. So there's ability to tweak here and do what you need to do. This has definitely got to get cut down, and it was set up that this bolt was easy to unbolt, and you know, it's kind of at an angle. Yeah, you look, can I make this serviceable kind of thing? So now I just move the inside there, and then that might be a better place to pivot on. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. It's not that bad. It really isn't. You know, I'm just trying to think though. When the car goes down, I just don't want the shock to hit that. got a spider on me. All right, or an ant or something. So, and again, if this has to get tweaked, no matter what, this thing here can rotate so it doesn't look like it's off kilter. And if it goes down in the back here, since that went up, you know, I still have a hanger back here that'll be placed. And I wanted it like that. It's almost like the thing is not. Oh, there we go. I got one more click out of that. Yeah, I mean, that's not touching anything there. Yeah, this is pretty good right there. My God. And this is right back where I had it in the beginning. Yet the muffler is higher, and I don't know if if it's okay to rotate that muffler because it looks a little off kilter right now. You know, I don't know if that starts. You know, I'm like, okay, the tailpipe is perfect, but now the muffler turns, and if I turn the muffler, will it fuck up what I've got in the back here? Not really. Look, I just rotated it. It started to, but then it went back. Oh, I'm fucking super stoked about this. This came out really good. And I have different clamps too. I don't know which one I'll use because these kind of dig into the muffler. The idea was just to hold the muffler. But I don't think it's a big deal either way. And the front, even though there's a little tension on it, once you weld it, it kind of perfectly fits the car. I'll be putting gaskets on those flanges after I'm done with it. But like I said, I gotta put it in there and weld it so it doesn't move just enough, you know, because like I said, see, it's rotating the muffler, but I'm pretty sure that, and it's not to mention it's rotating the, and also the flanges aren't like super tight, so that's another thing. And there's maybe the slightest cheating there, you know, in the flanges. When everything gets bolted up, you can jack it up and then tighten it up. Not too shabby. So basically, I use a piece of 45. I cut it a little shorter on there, put the full 90 over here, and then a small 45 that I butt welded and slipped it in there a little. And then this was a U pipe that I cut long ways, and then that's why, because it became an oval, I had to try to expand this and force in this 90-degree guy here. This went inside there and went here up against it, and then I had to fill in a big hole here. Ultimately, it still looks good. You know, if I throw the aluminum paint on it, I think it'll be fine. And I like putting the mild steel on the other side. I just think, you know, being on that side of the run, it's a little bit stronger. I feel mild steel is. Stainless steel is. This stainless steel, this kit is fucking really good for I don't know, $86. It wasn't bad. And I have like, I think I use 190, 145, and I started cutting up one of the U pipes. So it comes with 2 of each in the box, I believe. So overall, I'm very impressed, you know. And the more I weld, the better I get. I used to be pretty good at it, you know, but this was all new to me. I was fucking welding people's exhaust in a shop with an arc welder. So, and I would burn a hole through, and I just go tip, 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 tip. Just pay patient, just keep building it up, and shit didn't leak. But yeah, I'm probably going to cut this down, slip this off, make it a little bit shorter. But I think this is a killer, and it's going to flow nicely. Going to do what it needs to do. And it's getting dark, so I'm going to pack it up. And hopefully I'll make another video tomorrow, and then I'll put it all together and post it. So I took that off. Of course, I got a later Amazon thing, but I painted all the welds. I started welding this, and not too bad. Let's see, I did a carbon here, or a hole. where the wire went through. Same thing there. So I just wire brushed it, so that's why I see it. Even though you have good intentions, it started, that the welder started spitting on me, and then it wasn't as good then. So I have a couple of spots I got to do, but my concern, like this one looks relatively straight, and this one is kind of crooked. But I pushed it up against it again with a couple of bolts, and it definitely is the correct angle, which I assumed that would be correct. I'm like, how did I let it get off? So between going in this guy a certain way and the way it was on, it cocked a certain way, and in the end, it's still the right angle. So I also welded that piece onto the muffler. So with band clamps, the muffler's going to go right on. Hoping the Amazon order comes earlier than later. And then I used the thing here and I cleaned up all the little spots on the stainless steel part, because that's where the band clamp has to go. And I think it's going to look pretty good. I'm pretty happy, It's pretty kick-ass to me. Of course, I'm dealing with the welder I got, If I had a better welder, or if I had gas, of course it would come out better. But, I'm making do with what I got, and you can too. Just a food for thought. Not too shabby. Cleaned up nice with the paint. Not sure if the camera's dirty. It's just sunny out here. It's hard to tell, but looks like I got everything. And this should work out. And then, like I said, I want to cut the end of the tailpipe off to put the turn down. And right now I can put the muffler in and this in. I don't think it should be a problem. And I got to find the gaskets I bought, and hopefully I grinded around where the bolts are there so the weld doesn't interfere with the bolts. So far so good. I don't know if I can see anything here. I'm trying to look at the size. I'm pretty sure that changed it to anything weird. These guys are in the way. Is that me, or does it look like a flathead? My phone is... Maybe that's like a double D? Looks like it also has a flathead in it too. Hard to say. Studebaker exhaust. I got 2 downpipes that went right up to the manifolds. And then I made this. This is the muffler. And this is the tailpipe going out the back. And I put band clamps. And a lot of this is made with stainless steel as well. Mixed with regular steel in some places. But now you can just change the muffler. Although I kind of got the wrong size muffler. That was 2.5, so I had to get an adapter. I welded in the adapter, and then I put the band clamp from there. And this thing ain't going nowhere. I got to tighten the clamp up there. And then in the back, that holds everything up. And it should be good. And then a couple of other things, I got to protect the rubber hose over there. But other than that, pretty cool. All right. Something tells me my microphone is very dirty. But, okay, so what did I do here? I put the emergency brake cable on. I haven't looked at that side yet. Doesn't seem to be a ton of tension, but it is obviously hitting. Alright, cable's hitting that exhaust, but I got all this cable here. As you can see, the cable's a little frayed right there. But I just gutted and cleaned up the master cylinder, put everything back together. I made this spacer over here, okay, because when I was doing the brake booster, I was making holes with 7/8 holes inside it, so it was just big enough to fit over that, and everything fits. And this is moving. I had to change these 2 bolts. That one was a pain in the ass, as you can see. They're new. That one had a hard time getting tight, but it's tight. Yeah, so that's basically what I did all day today, just trying to mess with this. I couldn't find the old bolt. I found a new nut there. Yeah, I could have put new nuts, but I'm getting tired of buying bolts. Never find the old ones. And what else do I got to do? I was going to put a little clamp on this guy here with a thingamajig. Of course, I don't see it right now. Man, every time I hit this with the impact gun, I mean, at least 2 pounds of dirt came out of this thing. Ugh. And it's just out of this piece right here. I'm like, it's really not coming out anywhere else. Anywho, let me see if I can do this. So we get this guy, and this is the bottom of the does it want to go on that side? I was pushing it on this side because it keeps it more away from the exhaust here. It clears behind the cross member. So ultimately, that's what I want to do. Come on. Yeah. I don't know if I'll be better with a smaller one. Also, this is the aluminum one. They're extra thick. I think I got to get a stainless one. There's just enough thread here, and you can tell it probably is not going to want to go all the way through because of the thing there. So I might have to change a bolt, or I don't know. I don't necessarily have to make it super, super tight. So that's another thing, but it's going to rain soon, I think, so I got to start packing it in. But now this should feel like a normal, yeah. I'm not even on it, like I'm not on the best leverage point. So that's what I did today. I wanted to weld something on the stops for the suspension. Perhaps that'll be tomorrow. I could have used one of these with washers, but I don't think that's 7/8 though. I'd have to drill it out more. What else? I adjusted the carburetor. It's running pretty good now. What else? I like to suck down the AC system. I don't know if somebody locally has one of these radiator caps. I can't freaking find the one that I had. So I think, much as I want to put it all together in one video, it depends. Maybe I'll just put a smaller video today because I have other stuff that I recorded, and put another one out in a few days, and see where I'm at from there. So this is the other mechanism over here, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, to me, it wants to go straight across, and it's almost like this thing here is bent. Because if the back part there goes down, there's less stress on it. And if the front part goes up, it lines up and maybe pulls it away. So I might try to do that, but I could probably simply put like a spring here and let it connect somewhere so it stays far away. So this won't be an issue, but you see, the more I pull it up there, the more that's kind of like out of whack. So I think I'm going to bend this. It almost looks unnatural. So like if this lip here is flush, it's not right over here. So I don't know if somebody hit it and it got like this anyway, and just because the exhaust, the way it was, the original, obviously it still didn't get in the way, but I think that'll solve the issue for the most part. And then a spring, that can go in there. I just feel like it's starting to bind then, when it does that. So I will see. All right, I bent it down a lot, except it still doesn't seem quite right. Obviously, it's still touching, but I was wondering if I just take out this whole thing here and flip it the other way, because somehow, to me, that feels like it's going to work. Now then again, okay, it's just a nut and a bolt, but that's straight down now. I went a little bit further than I really wanted to. and I'm not sure how well this is going to articulate. But the more, yeah, I don't think it really, it's one of those shoulder bolts. So even if it got fucked up, I can, because the shoulder bolt was in the drive shafting here and one got fucked up. I'm really wondering if I flip that over, will that give me the angle I need? Because this will be up, and this could be up, because now it's almost like it's too far down. It's almost like it got taken out at some point and then not put in correctly. So it's definitely something I'm going to think about. I don't know about right now, but we'll see. So ultimately, I had to put it back, and I even bent it, not back where it originally was, but a little. It's still perpendicular, but I went a little bit too far because I was trying to correct this by bending this up. I was trying to correct this, but I'm going to use this hole up here and just make a little tiny guide. That's all I need to have it is around from there. I'm going to use that hole, and it could be spring-loaded as well. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do it, but just a little hook that barely fits the cable, and then make some kind of rod, perhaps spring-loaded. May not need to be. I don't think it needs to be, but I can't go level with the hole. I can only come down at an angle on it, so that's why I say, a spring on there. I have the spring for the brake pedal that's hanging in the front. I have the spring from the brake pedal that was hanging down for the longest time right here, but, besides it being kind of shitty, and it's just a little too long to do what I want to do. I was thinking about even just if I only put the hook, if it's long enough through the hole like this, it should be able to grab it, and if I could actually get a few turns on the thing to get it to go through, and that's an idea even for this guy. Like if I was able to keep turning it here until I can get it through, and of course it's getting stuck on my glove. Alright, something to think about. I might have better springs. Although this guy's 70 years old and it was still working technically, so should I try one more time? Oh, I got my glove cord again. So this is my idea. It would be cool if I can put it on a drill and force it through. It's a rusty spring and the chassis is rusty. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway. Well, it keeps getting caught. Alright, I'm going to try with 2 hands and then show you how it comes out. I tell you, every time I have a problem, I do something and I find simple answers. See, right now, there's a kink in that spring, so it's almost like it's offset. So other than breaking, I don't see it being an issue, and it holds it back far away, There's plenty of springiness to it, and then it's not like I'm applying the rear brake right there. There's a lot of play in there, so this was no issue at all. That's wild. That came out really fucking good. And it's a brake spring, it was meant for the brake pedal, so can't be that bad. And I have it going in a good angle here. And it's catching the thing, and I had to go like hell. I didn't want to make it loose to just be able to put it on my own, because I didn't want to pull the brake and then it actually comes out. This is actually going to flex this, this is going to flex this when it gets all tight. But it keeps it way out of the way, and it's pliable, so everything's going to move with it. And there's a whole bunch of spring on this side, but and there's like I said, there's a kink in the spring that you see right through the hole here, but it ain't falling through that hole. You can move it sideways to make it, And technically, you can even use this spring to even help with the exhaust or something, But that's wild. That came out real good and very simple, I must say. And actually, as far as I could tell, it's not touching the other side as well. The original guide is working out just right, and that's why I kind of left it in place before I did that cross member. The exhaust was added, but I kind of figured there was enough room here, but it just misses here, which, you know what, another spring could be put here. I don't think it would be a big deal either. And I don't think that if it got applied and it touched when it was applying, which it's not going to, it would be a big deal idling with the e-brake on. I mean, it's just a 50s car. It's not a, it's a 50s car that doesn't have the 50s engine, so and standard transmission. So it's not like it's going to be that much of an issue. Altogether, this was a score. I'm very happy. It's amazing to just keep finding solutions for things that seemed impossible or just seemed like it was going to be difficult. So I'm very happy. So we got all that stuff I mentioned before, and ready to cap. I got to get the air cleaner set. I think I'm going to mess with the air cleaner because I think I want to weld the hole together, because originally, those things had air pump holes, but there's a breather filter that comes off the valve cover. This guy here, that guy's got to stay, of course. And I don't know if somebody changed this. It looks kind of, this was kind of rigged, But I just angled it in a better place now. I don't know if it's better going that way. Not really. I'll leave it the way I have it. Pretty happy, I must say. I got to get some wire looms for the wires. Small things. It's getting close to a test drive. I mean, obviously, I got to do the center console, and I can probably suck down the AC system for now. And what else? I can suck down the AC system, but I got to figure out something for the switch for the AC, where that's going to go, and devise something. At this point, I just want to make something simple for the center console. Because I don't know, if the person's going to like it or not, or whatever. I don't want to get too super duper creative and then spend a lot of time, because I got to get this project done. It's taking way longer. It's going on 7 months, and obviously some people can do it faster, but I sit here and think all day. And then it was funny, I was running the engine the other day, and just for shits and giggles, I was pumping the brake hard, and the kind of engine stumbled. So I don't know about this booster even. It was cheap. It was like $46 plus tax. So you go cheap because there's so much involved here, and you know that it's going to be an issue, but money. But buying one and not being able to return it, let's say, or something along those lines, is an even bigger issue, I guess. But I can put a bigger one if I wanted to. This is an 8-inch. I just don't think it's going to need more than that. It's going to go through the windshield. You're going to lock up the drum brakes. So I'm anxious to see how this thing goes. Might still need to do some kind of brake bleeding, because I was trying to do it by myself. But so far so good. Pretty happy.